Good morning. Hi, my name is Jesse, and today I want to talk about life. I want to talk about the macro versus the micro and adapting to things that we see in our world. I know it's a big topic, but I just started reading this book, Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and the main character, he's kind of an empathetic sort. He's always thinking about others, and especially others in his little town in Ireland. Right now at this time in 1985, he's seeing a lot of factory closings, store closings, people down on their luck. And it made me thinking about, about my life, but more importantly, all I've seen over the years in the macro, economically. I maybe think about the gas lines in 1973, really high interest rates, coming out of college in the early 80s to a recession, finding it, really difficult to get a job, and then later experiencing 9/11, and right after that, I was working in San Francisco, the dot-com bust, and everyone losing their jobs then, and then of course, a number of years later, we've got the great financial crisis and the housing crisis, and recently, of course, COVID, and now we've got, post-COVID inflation, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and I can really understand being young now and looking out at the cost of housing and everything, and just getting this bleak outlook about it. I mean, even though I'm technically a boomer, I'm a late boomer, I have experienced, my share of financial troubles and bleak times, and looking back and looking now, I just want to, give people encouragement, but also just to think about how I have reacted over the years. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. By the way, I am in Mill Valley, California. I just came back to America after 2 months in France and China and Thailand, and boy, are my arms tired. No, seriously, I'm staying at my brother's house in Marin County, and it's just so lovely here. But let's get back to the topic. Yeah, I was thinking back to my own life and kind of tipping points that really made me think about this macro versus micro idea. I remember in the year 2006, I had also just come back from China. I'd been teaching in China for a couple of years, and I came back and I thought about, living back in America. But, times were not that great. Times were difficult to find a job. But I did. I found a job at my old newspaper in Los Angeles at the LA Daily News as a news copy editor. I had been a basketball reporter for about 10 years, and started my career at the LA Daily News, where I also spent some time on the copy desk, the sports copy desk, in the off season of the NBA, where I covered. And the contrast was just amazing and bleak. Working as a copy editor on the desk of a daily newspaper can be exhilarating and fun, but it also can be, a good time, great camaraderie with your colleagues, because it's really feast or famine. Sometimes the stories are coming in hot and heavy, and other times, you can have a 15, 20-minute block of time where it's really slow. And at that time, you're just chatting with your friends and having a good time at work. But when I got back on the desk in 2006, Our newspaper was just in this corporate mode. I think it had just been taken over, but in the last few years, I can't remember the dates, but all of a sudden, life on the desk had changed. It was like, okay, during the really heavy times, you're always working hard, of course, but during the light times, especially earlier in the day, before the deadline stories really start pouring in, instead of, taking our break, chatting with each other, reading slowly and carefully, the new edict was always do something. And our copy rim editor was always sending us these advertorials, advertisements that looked like news stories, or stories for special sections weeks on out. It was like he was told that if it's ever a dull time, give him work. And I saw that as representing all of corporate nature. I think, I don't want to get too historical because I don't have all the facts on, the history of industry, but this whole corporate takeover mentality and working for company profits, for the stock price, for the shareholders, I think it really revved up in high gear around that time in the early 2000s. And I think that work life changed in America, and not for the better. And me personally, I hated it, rejected it. Maybe we all hate it, but do you all reject it? And so, after less than a year, I had to get out of there. And I got out of there and went back to China to teach. Because, I didn't like what was going on in macro America, hated it. I mean, really, really loathed it. And what was my response? My response was flight. But more importantly, my flight represented adaptation. What adaptation meant for me was, if I didn't like this macro culture that I couldn't do anything about, whether I was in the newspaper business or went into a different line of business, I guess, I was still faced with the same problem. For me, I had something to jump back to. I really enjoyed my first couple years teaching in China, and so I was very happy to go back. But going back meant living a very simple lifestyle. I went back to a school where I had to, I got free lodging, but I had to room with other teachers. I was making, you'll love this, I think I was making $450 a month plus lodging. And so, that requires a big adjustment in your life. And the trade-off was really worth it to me. I mean, super worth it to me. Other people, may respond, start your own business, find another line of work where mom and pop with a human attitude towards its employees. Who knows? You do whatever you can. But my point is, if you don't like the situation that you cannot control, then your only option is, well, two options, is to suck it up, buttercup, or get the hell out of there. By adapting, by moving to China, making very little money, a whole new world opened up for me. A world that I guess I suspected was out there, but I wasn't sure that I could do. And that is living on less. Living without, the things that I used to, strive for and want to buy. Car included, all the, I'm not going to say luxuries because I was never a luxury boy, but all the luxuries in life, you find that if you can't get them, you adapt and you find out you don't need them. And I have found out in the last, 15, 20 years that I can live with so little. I can live with so little, but right now I am back in America and faced with American prices, faced with, a new chapter of how to adapt. Windy. How do I adapt to the wind? Let it go. One big difference than in the past is that I'm retired now. I left my teaching job at University of Pittsburgh in December, and so I don't have to go back to that corporate world, but I do have to face these prices. There's no way around it if I'm in America. So in addition to selling my house, I am considering getting a small apartment, maybe in the middle of America, somewhere where it's cheap, and then spending half the year in Asia, in China with summer, other places like Thailand where I love. And there's a lot to consider. So that's where I am right now. But that's probably for future videos. Talking about the original topic, macro versus micro, is that whatever is happening in the world, you have to deal with it in your own small world. And I think that's important to always think about, because if you just constantly worry about what is going on, and especially the things that you cannot control, psychologically, that's no good. Take that from a non-professional. Yeah, so I think I'm going to end this video now. I don't know, just rambling. Really appreciate you guys watching it, sticking through the wind and the, just chatting. Really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please press the like button. And if you have a comment, I would love to hear from you. Just drop one below. Yeah, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe. All right, till next time, take it easy.